So when you look at a release, release is a collection of various features, right? So we will create releases here. So we will now create flight reservation system web folder name here, right? Yeah, you can do it simultaneously as well. So in this, we will now start creating releases. Release 1.0. Okay, ladies, let's get back here. So we create various releases for this application. The name is Flight Reservation System Web, in which I have created release 1.0 and release 1.1. I'm just giving you an example. You can have as many releases, right? Then we go into requirements. This application follows exactly like your Windows Explorer. It gives you a folder under which you create children, and that folder will be the parent. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create under the requirements folder a new requirements folder. This is my FRS web. In this, I will now start creating requirements. I can also have a subfolder under this.
Excuse me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Rekha. I'm not able to log in. The quality center.
You're not able to log in. Why? Because you are external and you cannot use this?
Yes, I'm not able to connect to because it says that Internet Explorer 5.0 is not supported on my system.
Okay. You'll have to upgrade your system.
It's the same problem with me too. This is Priya.
Internet Explorer 5 is not supported. You have to upgrade your system.
Okay.
You will have to go to Internet Explorer 7 or 8, which is the latest. Actually, 9 is the latest, but you have to bring it up to 8 or 9.
Okay.
Ashish, Rekha here. For me, it doesn't have a password. I'm not able to. I have no problem with my with anything else, but it's not letting me log in. It says
And no one has a password. So Rekha, all you need to do is 70 underscore Rekha.
And say username.
Yes, you give the username, no password, and you should be able to connect.
What is my username?
What's my username? Rekha 70, right?
Your username is 70 underscore Rekha, and your project is Rekha 70.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So now what we have done is we've created a security folder. In this security folder we will create requirements. And now when you create a requirement, you can create a group requirement or a testing requirement. So what I'm going to do is I will create a functional testing requirement. Valid user can. Okay, alright. Okay. Do you have a connection to it now? Okay, 517, I think you should be able to make it. Yeah. Okay. See you at 8. Are you coming for the next class or?
Next class I'm not coming.
Okay.
But if not, but if it's 8 means I have to figure it out how I'm able to.
He's your partner in crime. Valid user can access the application.
Yes. It's Reena here. How did you create the security folder?
Okay, let's go over this. This icon when clicked will create a folder. So on requirements I click this to create FRS web, and then when I highlighted FRS web I created the security folder. Now I am creating a requirement under this, and my requirement is a functional requirement which says valid user can access the system. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when you see the requirement come up here, Pravina, when you see the requirement created here, these are the various details that you need to provide the requirements for. You can give description here. I am just writing dummy stub for you. Actually, you have the process here. You will open the application. This is the URL. Valid user ID should be used. All that will be written here. Then you can write comments and you can write other stuff as well. Now, after you have submitted this requirement is now available in the system. Right? But this requirement says the coverage is not done for it yet. What does that mean? I do not have test cases for this. I have not executed any test cases related to this. So what I'm going to do is now go into my test plan module. In my test plan, create a security folder in which I will write my new test. And my new test is manual testing. The name of my test is valid user can access the system. So this is my scenario. Design steps. What will be the design steps? What do I need to do first? Invoke the application is my first step. What is my expected result? Login window will be displayed. Right? When I do this and I click, login window is displayed, right? Correct?
Yes.
Now, the next step, my next step is, what are the three stages of validation? Default, on user action, and after user action. So now I need to validate login dialog window objects. What are my login window dialog objects? Agent, name, I have two labels, which is agent name and spellings need improvement. Right? Those are my labels. Then I have my edit fields. What are my edit fields? Then what are my buttons? OK button, but what is the qualifier? OK is focused. And then I also have an image. Right? So this is validating my login window object, right? Now I need to go and add. The next step is to populate username, right? And the data that I use is Mercury. What is the expected result? Mercury as a string will be displayed in agent name field. Correct? These are the details that you have here now. But I am not done. Right? I need to add more steps. So what I can do, come back and click this again. Now I need to populate what?
Basically, we have to check that, if some other name is entered in the username.
We've not gone to that test case yet. We're looking at valid user.
Okay.
When we go to invalid user does not have access,
Okay.
then we will worry about it.
Okay. So both cannot be in the same.
It should not be.
Oh, okay.
Because the conditions that you have in your requirement will define your test cases. Your condition is valid user has access to the system. In that, if you are testing invalid user does not have access to the system, what will happen? No, it will show, but where will you trace it to? You don't have any requirements, right? So your requirement traceability for that test case will be 0. And everyone will question, when you do not have a requirement, why do you have a test case? Right? It's good that you're doing that testing for negative testing, but there's no requirement for that. So be careful with these conditions as well, which is where you will have gap analysis. Tell them, this is not there, you need to give me that as a requirement. Okay? So, when user types Mercury, star will be displayed in the password field, correct? When you type Mercury in the password field, you see stars only, right? Okay, now what's the next step? Step number 5. Click OK button. And after that what happens? Welcome screen is shown and user is logged into the system, right? So when I look at this here and I provide MERCURY and I write MERCURY here, click OK button, what happens? This is my welcome. This is the welcome screen 2. And this gets delivered. So flight reservation form is delivered, right? So I need to go in here. See, the order is changed. Correct? So all I need to do is just drag and drop to get the order in place again. Right? So what did we do here? We created a requirement. We also created a test for validating the requirement. But remember, I told you we have to link these requirements. So when I go to requirements coverage here, and I select the requirement tree, I remove all my filters, I will get my requirements that I need to connect to. So what did I do here? Now I have linked my test case to my requirement here. Do you want to add selected requirement and its children to test coverage? And I will say yes. Right? Now when I go back to requirements here and I refresh this, the status changed here. It says my requirement has coverage, but the test has not been executed. Right? Makes sense. So what happened